And action.
What's up, you guys? My name's Tommy, and welcome back to See More Films. So today we've not got Harry on screen because he's being a little bitch. He's sitting behind the camera.
Oh, wanker.
Your point being what?
You're a wanker.
Takes one to know one.
It's not through choice though, is it?
No, we've actually got 4 guests. All 4 from the Greenwich Anime and Gaming Society. And for those Greenwich students, make sure to come down to Anime and Gaming, join all of us, play some different games like Cards Against Humanity, and watch Sam and Lan be as offensive as possible in that game.
You're welcome.
And,
Yeah.
and find out who's in your Kung Pao chicken.
But one of which is actually a committee member. We have Lan.
What's up, everyone? Matt here.
We've got Adam, ex-committee member.
Hey everyone.
Got Josh, society bitch.
You what?
You what?
You what?
And we got
What am I supposed to reply to?
Okay, so if you're wondering what today's episode about, if you haven't looked at the title, which if you haven't, then there's something wrong
What
with
are you doing here?
Yeah. Then all you have to
we're gonna get shut down. Copyright infringement.
just look at Sam.
I'd like to point out I was told, I wasn't told what we were doing today. So I just thought I'd wear a generic shirt that might not go against me.
You're fucked up.
I'm going to point out now, I'm literally here because I have no idea what we're going to be talking about. So
No, you know what we're talking about.
yeah, I know what we're talking about now, but I have no idea what Adam's talking about with his 10 pages of notes.
A lot of questions that
I'm
need
just
to be
sitting here going,
answered.
there was some lights, there was some flashing lights, and then Snape killed someone.
Yeah, so if you haven't guessed, we're talking about Star Wars! I'm sorry, but I've only just watched 6 and 7, and I'm officially a Star Wars fan. I'm hooked. So,
I thought you said you watched the original trilogy last night.
Yeah.
no, I'd watched 4 and 5 before.
Oh,
I
yes,
rewatched 4 and 5. I just hadn't watched 6.
And this
I watched
lucky
7.
prick still hasn't seen the prequels. Keep it that way.
Yeah.
Josh, at least you didn't see it in cinema.
I saw Revenge of the Sith in the cinema. It was actually okay.
Yeah.
But
Right.
then you kind of realised slightly afterwards it wasn't.
So, talking about Star Wars, I want each of you to quickly do a really quick run through of one of the old Star Wars films so people get an idea, and we'll do it in machete order. So I'll start with 4. So automatically get introduced to Luke, Leia and Han, 3 characters who carry on throughout the series. They are the main driving force of Star Wars. Skywalker basically becomes the greatest Jedi, even though he's not a Jedi Master until, well, lately. But basically, yeah, that's the thing. You've got the Sky Captain, the damsel in distress princess, and the hero who's going to save them. So, Adam, 5.
And yeah, moving on to episode 5, The Empire Strike Back, we see the characters on a snowy planet, Nana's Hoth, and pretty much Luke gets his face ripped off. Pretty much that is a wink to what happened to Mark Hamill having a car crash before the premiere of episode 4. Empire's pretty much strike back. All our characters are pretty much on the run. Luke finds this little green man who is Yoda, who is one of the most powerful Jedis ever. He trains Luke. Luke doesn't complete his training fully because Han, Leia, and all that lot, they go to the sky planet. I can never remember what its name is.
You go to Cloud
Bespin.
City.
Yeah, Cloud City, sorry.
Bespin.
They meet one of the coolest black dudes ever, Lando Calrissian, and he's betrayed Han. Han gets tortured. Loads of bad things happen. Luke leaves his training early to fight Darth Vader, gets his hand chopped off, and then he's like, "I'll never join you." And then one of the greatest plot twists in movie's history, no, I am your father. And then we get to see Mark Hamill. So they all get back together. Han is frozen in carbonite, and yeah, all our characters are really depressed. Right.
Now that that's done,
Episode
since
7
you're in
review.
machete order, you have to talk about the worst one. You have to talk about one.
The Phantom Menace, beginning of the prequel trilogy. We
I liked it.
To our two
Get out.
We get introduced to the Jedi in a time where the Jedi uphold peace in the Republic. They're at the height of their power. And we get introduced to Qui-Gon Jinn, a Jedi Master, and his Padawan, Obi-Wan. And they go to Tatooine, they find this magical prophesized kid called Anakin, and then...
This is Padre!
They have some wicked adventures with Jar Jar Binks in tow. And really and truly, the film doesn't do very much, but at the end of the day, the film ends with Anakin, despite the Jedi Council voting against it, becoming a Jedi Padawan straight away without being initiated or anything. And that begins the Trail of Doom.
Episode 2.
Okay, episode 2.
The clone.
Yeah. Opens with Padme not getting blown up, which made me sad. And then we're introduced to Anakin being a creepy little pervy bitch. Then Zam turns up, who was actually really cool, and then she dies. And then Django goes to Kamino, and Obi-Wan's like, cool, I'll go catch Django. Anakin goes to protect Padme, even though she was complaining he was being creepy, and then they fall in love, because George Lucas totally knows what that is. And then
Because it's Romeo and Juliet, you know, that's what
time
inspires me.
space.
I hate the sand.
I hate sand. It's coarse and it's rough, and it gets everywhere. That's why he never found Luke on Tatooine. But yeah, and then Django has a cool fight with Obi-Wan, and then instead of actually making sure he's dead, he goes to Geonosis leading Obi-Wan there, who gets captured by Dooku, who legit just straight up tells Obi-Wan that the Sith have infiltrated the Republic, and that Palpatine is there. He's like, nah, fuck you. Then Anakin and Padme try to save them. They have a stupid PlayStation 2 cutscene on a conveyor belt. They all end up in an arena.
Press X to die.
They end up in an arena, fight some giant monsters, where the cat one, literally, its only job was to make Padme look more attractive by tearing off her clothes. Then the Jedi turn up and fight some droids, and then they're going to lose. And then the clones turn up, and then the Clone Wars happen. And also, the Jedi at the height of their power apparently can't use the Force.
Josh, remember, it's plot convenience. Just
Right.
like Intermediate.
Episode 3. Episode 3.
Yeah, there are some Jedis and they got some weird glow sticks. And it's like a really weird sort of rave. And then there are some bad guys, and one of them was a good guy, but he's evil at the same time because well, he lives in a bad area.
There's
Called Elton.
There's a creepy
Yeah.
old man who keeps trying to...
He lives somewhere between Lewisham and Eltham somewhere. I'm not sure where. Yeah, so he turns bad because, you know, his friend took his weed or something. Yeah, so there was a robot at some point, I'm pretty sure. And then at the end, someone loses a hand, someone falls in lava, and yeah, I'm pretty sure someone dies. But yeah, answers on a postcard. Yeah.
Important to remember here that when Anakin was on fire, he did go, Obi-Wan, give this to my son, handing his lightsaber up from the lavary pits of Mustafar.
No, you didn't do it right. It's... I loved you like a brother! I hate you!
Oh, George.
Okay, and finally, episode 6, which is Luke has now tried to hunt down his father, Darth Vader, in order to be able to try and turn him to the Force instead of being on the dark side. The whole film is spent bringing back Han from cryogenic freezing, which then we have what most men went through puberty for, which is Princess Leia in the gold bikini. Though we also learned that Jabba the Hutt is a dirty old pervy bastard.
Not the only one.
Yeah. And then, yeah, Han's back. They go around, find Luke. There's a massive fight right at the end with lightsabers, and then
That's what
no, Darth Vader's dead. And yeah, that's
called
kind of it.
lightsabers.
I don't think Luke went, well, he definitely didn't go, no!
No, Darth
Yeah.
Vader did in one of the cutscenes.
I find it funny that you can drop an
It's a
AT-AT
film,
in
they're all
that map
cutscenes.
and he doesn't die.
Yeah,
And then in that final fight, that's how he does.
Yeah.
Interesting factoid here is George Lucas made Carrie Fisher wear boob tape in episode 4 because he didn't want her to be over sexualized. How did that go? Episode 6.
Yeah, but it's funny you say that, Josh, because Carrie Fisher, I remember she did an interview and she asked George, "Why am I wearing tapes?" And he basically went, "Because they don't wear bras in space."
Okay, so we spoke about the first 6 films. Let's get into the 7th film. So overall, what did we think of it? We'll start with you, Alan.
I loved it, apart from a few minor plot issues, which I think we're going to talk about later.
6
I loved
pages of
it. For me personally, it felt like watching the original trilogy again, just in the 21st century. It just put a smile on my face. I laughed, I cried. It just had everything what I wanted from Star Wars, and I'm really glad that it turned out as well as it did.
You cried? What?
Yeah, there were excuse me. You're telling me there were
See-
3 significant moments where you got upset.
Oh, I never cried at all in the film.
I only cried at one bit. Well,
Tommy
just
can
barely.
tell you I
only
teared up at the end.
He cried at all 3.
Okay. Let's
Three major bits.
Yeah, let's get back on it.
Ask us to what points you cried at, because I can't think of any points that
Han.
you cried.
I cried at
I
Han.
laughed.
I didn't.
I'm sorry, that's their own fault. Star Wars needs to start building some railings. Start building things with giant holes, because everyone seems to fall down them.
By the way, spoilers, everyone.
In a futuristic sort of world, surely railings should be there, and so should health and safety.
I remember when Ben Kenobi had to turn off the shield generator. He could have just fallen to his death at any fucking moment.
Well, remember, we've got good old Finn, who's a sanitation expert. So
That's true. That's true. That's true.
okay, so
Sorry.
you've had your opinion.
Yes.
Lance.
Okay. Overall, without being nitpicky or being a butthead like I normally am when it comes to films,
Butthead.
I enjoyed it. It has a nostalgic feel.
Mm-hmm.
Bearing in mind the lightsaber fights are what they are. I left them as they are. I didn't have any expectations. I enjoyed the film start to finish. I enjoyed the characters start to finish.
Good beginning, middle, and end.
Beginning, okay, that's a different conversation altogether. Middle, I love the development. Finn is still an idiot to me, but that's him. And you can forget Chewbacca. Thank you, gents.
Right, Josh.
Fucking loved it. Poe Dameron is my guy. I couldn't get enough of Poe. Honestly.
He couldn't get enough of you.
No, because I always had a thing for the pilots. I played all the Rogue Leader games. Fucking loved wedging the
Oh, you had a thing for them, yeah?
Yeah.
You had a thing
Yeah.
for them.
Wow.
Wow.
Is that a problem in this day and age?
Yeah.
Oh no, it's not an issue.
No,
Can I
no.
not love
It's
the
21st century
pilots
people.
equally?
I'm just saying, there is equality nowadays, guys. Come on.
Yeah. If I want to have a game name with all of the rebel pilots, I can. Regardless,
I was wondering what that sound was.
but but
No
jumping
wonder
on,
he was late to Anime Gaming.
but jumping onto the lightsaber battle point, I mean, I understand that they were a bit naff, but they felt more emotional. They were more emotionally driven. The
Yeah.
Jedi aren't their peak
Yeah.
anymore.
There was
They're
more
not going to be
weight to the
choreographed.
fighting.
Yeah. George Lucas, I mean, as shit as he made the prequels, the lightsaber battle, he said they are at their peak. So he got choreographers and shit, and he made the lightsaber fights flashy and interesting.
The problem is...
We'll get back to that.
Yeah,
guys.
we need to
We'll
talk
jump
about
Sam.
that.
There was fun things. No, I genuinely enjoyed the film. Like, if I'm honest, I didn't have any expectations because, well, that's just my life. I don't know what Alan was talking about plot points, because who thinks that seriously about a film?
Alan, yeah?
I do.
Alan.
Alan.
I
Hi guys, I'm Alan now. Adam's fucked off.
Just enjoy the film, for goodness
I
sake. Stop
do.
making notes inside a film.
I'm a writer.
Yeah, I did.
have to think about these things.
Oh yeah, when you're writing it you can. When you're watching it, just enjoy it.
Yeah,
Enjoy
so
the film.
all in all...
I liked
Three
I liked
times.
BB-8. I'm just saying, BB-8 was fun.
Oh, BB-8's amazing.
Let's come back to
BB-8 was
BB-8.
fun. Yeah.
I want that BB-8, the
Remote
131
control,
one.
yeah.
Yeah.
But,
So-
yeah, I enjoyed it. And apart from the name Poe, that really threw me off.
He's a Kelly type.
His name should have been
La
Why can't they just call them Toe instead? I mean,
That's worse.
Or Go. I'm Go. Wait, why's your name Go? It just is.
I should have called him Dave.
Or Alan.
Just have him down the pub with a
Craig.
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 Okay, so
How did you like the film, Tommy?
for me, I thought it was really good. Like I said, I rewatched 4 and 5 recently and realised how good Empire was. And I've now found that love of Star Wars that everyone for years has gone, oh, you need to try and get into Star Wars. And I was like, now that's it, I'm hooked. I know that I'm going to be at every Star Wars.
Prepared to be disappointed when you reach 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
An issue I had was with the casting.
Really?
Because, yeah, Steve Carell was not in this film. I'm just saying.
Shut the fuck up, no one cares about Steve Carell.
How is he ever going to win his famous Oscar without being in films like Star Wars?
Then again, he's got more of a chance than Leo DiCaprio. I like the film. Like you guys said, it was that perfect nostalgic feel. It brought you back to the old films, and you could tell this was a fan film.
Yeah.
It brought back what fans liked about the original trilogy.
Yeah.
Except Ewoks.
Nobody
Yeah.
likes the Ewoks.
Everyone loves Ewoks. They're like cuddly teddy bears.
Well, I think leading
No, that's Chewie.
Chewie's not a teddy bear.
Yes, he is.
He will
He's an
fuck
actual
any of
bear.
you.
Grizzly bear.
It will rip you apart.
But honestly, I think for me, so far from the Star Wars films I've watched, because like these guys said, I've avoided the prequels. So for me, it goes 5, 7, 6, 4. So I'd easily say it's one of the best Star Wars.
lottery numbers will come up this week.
But no, I really enjoyed it. So I'm with you guys. If I'm not being nitpicky, it was a good film. I think J.J. Abrams has really done the job well.
Yeah.
But he's going to be doing it again.
Yeah.
I think if you look at it from a Star Wars films, I'm not trying to say, oh, it's good for a Star Wars movie. It's great for a Star Wars movie, but as a film in general, it's great on both those terms.
Yeah.
I feel. I mean, it'll be interesting what they do with Episode 8 because I think it's Rian Johnson. I think it is
Yeah,
the director of
I think so.
Looper.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
And then Episode 9 is director of Jurassic World, and even though there are parts in Jurassic World which I really like, and I think he is a talented director, he knows how to shoot scenes really well. The problem was with Jurassic World, the script was a disaster. So hopefully,
but
with a good script, 9 should be really good.
Yeah, assuming
as well.
they keep the scriptwriter for 7, because he wrote. 4 and
Lawrence
5.
Lawrence Kasdan, I believe it was.
So
yeah.
as long as he stays with the project, then it should be consistent.
Yeah.
And it should be decent.
And I think be a bit more tighter on the script, tighter on plot elements as well, because as we've spoke before, going on camera, there are a few questions which weren't answered properly, or things which were just kind of just plot
Like
conveniences.
C-3PO's red arm.
Yeah.
Oh, massively.
We were talking about this on the bus, and it's like I know it's stupid, but it seems like not a big plot hole, but it's like
There needs to be a reason.
Yeah, there's
for it.
got to be
I've
some.
been able to explain that. His actual arm was in the shop, and now it's just a courtesy arm.
it's funny Sam actually mentioned that because C-3PO does mention, I think it's to Han, where he just kind of
yeah,
says,
he's like, oh,
It's like, you
Mr.
made
Solo.
this, I have a red arm.
and then he goes, I'll have to get my gold arm later. I'm just like, why do you have so many arms? What, is one a wanking one?
Okay, so next thing I want to talk about, favourite part of the film for each of us. This time we'll go in the reverse order, so start with Sam.
That's a hard one.
I enjoyed most scenes with BB-8 in it. Mostly because it was just enjoyable. Like
Yeah.
the droid was enjoyable. R2-D2 can be a bit annoying sometimes. Like, I like R2-D2, but I think BB-8's sort of taken over R2-D2.
Yeah.
Like, well, plus R2-D2 is a bit of a twat in the film. Like, come on.
Don't be dissing D2.
R2-D2 had all the answers and thought, you know what, I'm going
Don't be
to nap.
dissing
I'll wake up
D2.
towards the end once everyone's died and, you know,
He was in sleep
planets
mode.
have been destroyed.
Leave him alone.
After the
was
uni
a
Star
lovely
Wars
sleep.
event, you'll know that I am R2D2, so don't be dissing
but then
R2D2.
suddenly he just wakes up again. It's just like,
Well, yeah, he was in sleep mode.
Yeah, no, but still, like...
They kept pressing the space bar, but nothing
happened. He crashed.
He had blue screen of death.
He had to turn him off and on again.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, I enjoyed it. Some of the fight scenes weren't as bad as some people think. Like, I mean, what they're wielding lightsabers is not going to be amazing, is it? Like,
Yeah.
They're all supposed to be. They're all supposed to be new with these lightsabers, so they're not going to be able to do backflips and all that kind of stuff. So they're also going to be basic sort of fighting technique.
Yeah.
Kylo Ren's a bit strange. That's another casting thing I'm a bit sort of.
Well, we'll get on to
He
things we
hasn't got a
didn't
very
like in a
menacing
bit.
look about him.
No, if anything, I think we should all talk about Kylo Ren at the same
really?
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As a concept, I like the fact that he's going to be built up, but as an actor, I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah. No, I'm
like,
with you.
the right
I'm with you
look.
completely. But other than that, what was overall your one favourite part?
I'm just going to say BB-8. That's all I can really say.
Okay, no, that's fair enough.
Any scene.
I'm guessing the one BB-8 scene that,
Thumbs up.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
Yeah, that one.
Thumbs up.
Yeah.
I actually, funny story. When I first saw it, I actually thought he was flipping him off.
thing is,
Was
you
that when
wouldn't-
you
I
cried?
think everybody thought that. Yeah.
right. Josh,
Right.
favourite part.
TR-8R. This guy, like, I don't know, when he turns up, he just has a fucking presence. He's just traitor! And, like, the best bit is
Whoa,
afterwards.
whoa.
Yeah. And then when he bests Finn, who has a lightsaber, and then when you read up about him afterwards, the thing he was wielding was a gun. He could have killed Finn at any time, but he was like, no, I'm going to show him I'm a boss.
Yeah, but
Because
how'd that work
the
out
New
for
Order.
him?
He got shot in the back.
Overconfidence.
Still,
Overcompensating.
Yeah, obviously.
I hope he comes back. He may be
we
dead.
saw his cock.
you know. TR-8R Force Ghost. We can
This question is one of the hardest questions you could ever ask a person,
Yeah.
and I hate you for it.
Mm.
But my answer is the moment Starkiller Base blew up. For the sole reason, when you consider how many people were on that planet, how many of them didn't manage to flee, and how many of them managed to die. That's the reason why I love that moment.
I'm gonna-
Because if you think about it, it's a planet full of people, animals, trees, and whatnot, and it's all gone. Now I feel for
There were
Cor-
animals on the planet?
I feel for Cor-
Probably.
I feel,
Just a lone fox.
I feel for Coruscant because that's the hub of the
Yeah.
entire Republic, and billions of people just died when they got blown up.
That shot was amazingly, like, set up and edited by
really,
them.
really good. Because it's a giant laser going
And
through.
Abram got to use his lens flare, and it worked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's a laser beam going through space.
Yeah.
From the middle rim
Yeah.
to the inner rim.
Mm.
That's a crazy distance. But it's still my favourite moment of the film. The entire planet just blows up.
Just want to point out, it wasn't real.
Don't ruin the illusion.
What?
Will you?
The laser
It
was
wasn't.
special effects, I'm just pointing out.
Shush. Right.
Oh,
Favourite part.
I feel like Lan, it's a horrible question to ask because I think what I said, what I love about Seven is there's so much development in the characters, so much human emotion. It's a really tough one.
He still hates it for it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna slightly cop out and say two. The first bit is where Han is talking to Kylo Ren.
Oh, on the walkway.
Yeah, on the walkway, just you can feel
With no
so-
barriers.
He may have survived.
Yeah, he may have survived. We don't know.
Even though he would have still been dead anyway.
Starkiller Base health and safety.
But I love that bit because there's so much weight, and it's just he's trying to convince his son to come back, and you know, obviously things didn't work out that way. And the other bit which I love is the fights between Finn, Kylo Ren, and then Rey and Kylo Ren. For me, what I loved about those fight scenes, it's like Kylo Ren is trying to prove himself. It's like he's completely emotionally unstable, but he keeps obviously bashing his ribs, his chest, just because he's bleeding, just to get the pump blood flowing. But I think it's a way of going, I'm here, I'm going to take you down.
I mean, that fight has actually won me over for the crossguard lightsaber, where he shoves it into.
But I think what we also need to remember when it
Oh,
comes
yes,
to
definitely.
fight scenes, New Hope didn't have that much of a fight.
Ben versus Obi-Wan, just two old dudes going like
Yeah,
that.
there wasn't much of a
nothing there.
fight.
But there's
Then,
there's development.
the next film had a lot more fighting, so I think
Well, 'cause
they're
Luke
trying
was
to
learning
follow
how
that
to use
tradition.
it.
all I can say is, as
Lightsaber.
long as it wasn't like the beginning of Obi-Wan and Anakin's last fight, where they're just spinning their lightsabers
Yeah.
around.
Those fights in the prequels never felt, for me, they never felt like natural fights.
Although none of them were ever sped up. That was all the actors doing it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of impressive.
Because
Yeah, but these ones, like, they're sort of, like Tommy said, they're starting again. Like,
Yeah.
none of them know what they're doing. Even Kylo
Yeah.
Ren is still a little bit raw. He doesn't mean that.
Okay, so my favourite part, I'm going nostalgia. Even though it was in the trailer, it's that moment where Han and Chewie come onto the ship and
Well,
he's
we're
like,
home.
"We're home, Chewie."
Oh, Chewie.
And I was just like, "Oh, nostalgia."
Don't hurt yourself there, bro.
don't break the chair.
No,
Please don't ejaculate.
honestly, that was my favourite part. But I also did like that moment where BB-8 takes the cloth off of R2-D2, and it was just like,
And the way the composition of that shot
yeah.
and the pan in,
Oh,
so
it's-
good.
it's-
Yeah.
Satisfying.
I'm sorry, as soon as it
Really shot
happened,
film.
like I said to you guys, I don't care. I screeched like a little girl in the cinema because I went, R2-D2! And I freaked. Now, before we talk about our least favourite parts, let's talk about what we just said. Kylo Ren. What did we all think of him as a villain? Because obviously, Ray summed it up how we all thought, which is he knows that he'll never be as strong as Darth Vader.
That was a sick burn.
Well,
Yeah, I love that though.
That was a
Yeah,
sick
it was
burn.
a great
Run.
one.
Because
And then
his face.
His face
And then
must
he
look like
freaks
Anakin's
when he's
mouth.
like, how the fuck is she in my head? When he's,
supposed to be in her.
yeah.
Kylo Ren can be summed up in two ways. When he had his mask on, fucking amazing character. When he took his mask off, little whiny bitch.
No,
So
I refuse to admit that, partly because when the officers came up to him and said they couldn't find them, he ignited his lightsaber with his mask still on and destroyed that console.
yeah. No,
Still had his
but
mask
the
on.
mask, the mask on and off thing. The mask is meant to symbolise his connection to the dark side. So
Yeah.
that's where they're coming from. Whenever he takes it off, he's more vulnerable to the light side.
Yeah,
It's meant to symbolise his struggle.
as you said, it shows
But
his
he
human
looks cool with
side.
the mask on, and I wish he just never. took
Sam,
it
do you want to chime in here?
His face, like the big, you know, when a train has like a plough on top of it.
Yeah.
That's what his mask looked like a combination between some really bad Power Rangers villain.
off. Kylo the Tank.
Oh, that hit me and landed the childhood there.
Only a really bad Power Rangers villain.
Not like
not a good
Golden
one.
Boss.
Oh, God,
Oh,
Golden
But,
Boss.
but then when he takes it off,
Speaking of,
it's
apparently
just
they're bringing
like
back for the team.
Sorry.
ejaculations, please. But no, like when he takes it off, it's just sort of like he's so weak in the face.
Yeah.
Like you know,
But that's
like,
the point of the character.
if he grows stronger,
I just
and grows
realised-
more sort of chiseled.
Put black hair on Sam. Kylo Ren.
But that's the point. The point, and Snoke said it as well. If he wants to pursue the dark side, he has he has to let go of the light that is born into him.
Did anyone
He
else?
looks like Peter Andre. I'm just saying.
Oh,
He goes
Dad.
Peter Andre.
Did anyone else wish that Snoke was actually that big?
Yeah.
rather
He's
than-
not gonna be that
We
big.
can talk about Snoke in a minute.
Oh, sorry.
I think we need to get back on Kylo
Right,
Ren.
so
But that's what he's about. He's about the conflict between
he's
the
gonna-
light
he's
that
gonna
is
grow
born,
up.
born into him and the darkness he pursues.
The thing
I want to
is,
admit, I feel like the only time there was a split second, I feel like he gave in to the light, and that was when you thought he wasn't going to
With
kill
Han,
Han,
yeah.
when he's holding the lightsaber and it's like,
Although,
but
you
they
know
wanted
he's gonna
to
die. It's like,
drop-
I need you to do something for me, and I
Yeah, we
was in my
said
head was
that
like, die.
you knew what it was,
Okay.
but I thought he needed help throwing away the lightsaber. Like that lightsaber was what represented his connection to the dark side. I thought that's what it was, and then as soon as he turns it on and it goes straight through Han, I was like,
Yeah, but he's still alive.
Han is still alive.
Trust me, he's still alive.
No, but the interesting
I
bit,
spoke to Mickey Mouse. He's still alive.
You heard it here first.
yeah.
Mickey Mouse confirmed.
No, we know he's dead for one reason. Leia was able to sense it in the Force.
Yes.
yeah.
Or she was able to sense
I
that
think-
man
But
works.
oh well.
But I think going back onto Kylo Ren, I think what's also really important is, I mean, it's blatant symbolism. We get it when Han and Ben are both on the bridge. There's a light, and then obviously when the sun goes away, that's obviously when he goes. So again, it's symbolising that conflict. I think what Kylo Ren is what.
I'm sorry, I gotta cut this off. We're talking about all these spoilers. Our man behind the camera hasn't seen it.
No! Cover your ears.
I'm basically watching it now.
I don't think you've seen any of them. Have you seen any of them? Yeah.
So we summed up all the films and now you're getting to watch the
Wait,
new
so
one.
you played Battlefront on PS4.
Did you not know what the fuck was going on?
He thought he was playing Halo.
That takes
This is
impressive
staying in the edit. I'm sorry,
Oh, it
Harry,
has
it's
to be
staying in
that.
the edit.
I'm so sorry.
But
Do you wanna
anyway,
But
so
I think Josh is consoling
Josh,
him.
sit
everyone.
down. Now we got the chime. Using the force. Right, there we go.
But getting back to the point in hand, like really, Kylo Ren's development is what it should have been for Anakin.
Yes.
Yeah.
The problem is, especially when you look at the prequels, it's just like, oh, I hate Obi-Wan, and it's just like, shut up, Hayden Christensen.
But it doesn't start off that way.
He'll be back as well. Are you excited?
It doesn't start off
Please tell me that's
He's
not
going to be the
true.
Force Ghost.
It doesn't start off that way. Yoda summed it up quite nicely. Anger, fear leads to anger.
Anger
leads to hate.
Hate leads to suffering. Suffering
It leads to the dark side. And
Don't forget pain.
I'm pretty sure that's a two-pack there.
And Anakin goes through all of that, and then when Padme dies at the birth of his children and he feels it, that's his tipping point. Obi-Wan was just there to take his anger out on him.
Yeah.
But his anger was building from when they took him away from his mother and didn't let go back to see him.
I don't know.
That's when it started. It started in the first film.
I just think that with the prequels, it just didn't. I think again, it goes down to the script that they, Anakin is poorly developed as a character, while I think Ben is a more I mean, I had this chat with a couple, with Dan, who I saw with, and with Scythe, not another Scythe, where I said, and I think I misphrased it. I said that Ben is a better villain than Darth Vader. What I was meant to say was that his development, it's interesting. His arc is much better. So hopefully when we get
Vader's arc is in reverse, because when we talk about Vader, I count 4, 5, 6. Before it's Anakin's arc. Vader's arc is a transition from dark, rediscovering the light. But Kylo, he's already got the mixed feelings. And it's about him choosing his path.
And which is like Vader's comic.
I will admit, when it comes to Kylo Ren, and I've got a feeling Lan and Josh will agree with me. I've got a feeling when it comes to episode 9, he's gonna basically pull the samurai card, which is...
I mentioned that to him. I said that to you the other day.
I want him to do that, but like stabbing through himself to kill Snoke. Snoke is behind him, and instead of doing the whole throwing the Emperor down the shaft, he's just like... Run, Ray, run!
I just hope. I know J.J. Abrams in interviews spoken about with the new trilogies. It's going to be like everything. There's a pattern. It's like a cycle. I just hope we don't get Ray loses her hand, and then
I'm looking forward to Starkiller Base 2.
No, I'll tell you. The only thing I want from the old films when it comes to what happens with Kylo, I want it he says, "Help me take off my mask so I can see you in my true face." I want that one line to be repeated.
And she'll be like, Scarface?
But no,
But I understand where Josh is coming from.
Yeah, I agree.
In the current Vader run, he's having those mixed feelings.
Yeah.
When we get to episode 6, where Luke and Vader have their last bout, and the Emperor's sitting there, you see the doubt in his head.
Alright, so it's been suggested, I'm not sure if it's confirmed, it's been suggested that Hayden Christensen's going to come back to play Anakin as Force Ghost. How would you like him, if he's going to appear to Kylo, how do you want it to happen? Because I'd like him to, touch the mask and then have Hayden just appear behind him. Like,
no, do you know why I don't want that? I don't want it that they've done what they just did in the new one, which is as soon as Rey touched the lightsaber.
He has a vision.
Yeah.
Oh, the Knights of Ren, by the way, I hope they touch upon them more because they look fucking
They're
amazing.
going to, if not in the next movie, they're going to have a comic book spin-off that tells for periods in between the movies, and they'll have
because they're all Marvel, aren't they?
They'll probably have a comic book.
You know what'll happen in the next movie? Mickey Mouse will turn up. I'm here to train you.
Hey boys and girls, want to learn about the Force?
They'll probably have a.
I just realised what Sam is for Seymour films.
He's Chewbacca.
No. Well, yeah, but Sam is Silent Bob.
He's not silent.
But what?
You're ruining the illusion.
I keep getting cut off here.
I'm sorry.
What they're probably going to do, they're probably going to have a comic book run called The Knights of Ren.
What were you saying?
And they're going to have... You're a jerk. But they're going to have a comic book series called The Knights of Ren, and it will just be about them. How they started and how they end up finishing. That's what they're probably going to do. It's going to be a bit unfair, but if not a comic book series, a TV series.
Yeah.
One of the two.
But no, that's the only thing I disagree with you about. I don't want it there's a flashback if he touches...
No, I don't want a flashback. I want
what
the
I
ghost
mean,
to appear
I don't want it when he
once
touches the
mask.
mask, the ghost appears.
As he appears behind him, just...
He like presses. He like presses the bit in the middle of his nose.
I
the
think-
button, and then
I
the
think
ghost
what-
comes up.
I think if that's the case, all I'd want is to just hear Hayden's Christian voice reading a good script.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because he's a good actor. If you ever saw
yeah.
him in Jumper, I think it was.
Well,
Yeah,
or
he
well,
was good
actually,
in that.
he's really good in Shattered Glass. Like that's one which is really good, and I lent it to Ronnie, and Ronnie still hasn't watched it. And it's like the guy can act, but you just need to
He
give him a
needs
good script.
But that's true
It's-
of any actor.
Yeah, it's like I think I don't know if you guys have seen it. Nostalgia Critic, he did a top 11 good Star Wars prequel mounts,
Yeah,
and one of them
I've
was
seen
Hayden Christensen as Anakin, and it
But
makes
ahead of it,
sense.
which made sense, was Ewan McGregor's Obi-Wan, because he is Obi-Wan.
Oh, he
He's
was
not Obi-Wan,
perfectly
he's
cast.
Jesus.
I've got a theory about the ghost thing. I reckon what it will be is there will be a fight between either Luke and Kylo or Rey and
That'd be
Kylo,
good.
and the ghost will also be behind fighting. So either like Luke's ghost if he dies or something, or Obi-Wan's ghost will be fighting against Anakin's ghost. Sort of as they're sort of locking like that, there'll be a ghost behind each one of them locking at the
But
same
Sir
time.
Alec Guinness. is
Oh, we're not
dead.
pulling the Harry Potter card,
Oh
are
yeah,
we?
we're pulling that. out.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is.
Well,
Touching tips
But-
with their lightsaber.
But Josh,
They could just hug and fall down a massively
Speaking-
big hole with no railings.
Or we could pull the Ghostbusters card. You don't cross lightsabers.
Well, that kind of defeats every fight that's ever taken. Like, it'll be
they
like that,
just die instantly.
maybe like that scene from Spaceballs where they intertwine.
All they can do is just hit like vertically up like that, just touch them.
You know what would be really funny if they went, okay, David Prowse, who was the body actor for Darth Vader for episode 4 and 5. I'd love if they went, Dave, we know you got dicked out by George Lucas in the past.
But you're gonna be Vader's voice
Yeah,
now.
could you, and it would be like obviously this
It'll be
Bristol.
like Shrek.
Yeah, this Bristol accent where people would be like, where are the subtitles? What the hell is he saying?
Right, if we could each have one thing brought back into the universe, what would it be? And honestly, I want to start off, I'd love just, even if it was a voiceover from James Earl Jones, just one scene where you have a voiceover from him, because, I'm sorry, if you think Star Wars, top 5 things about Star Wars, usually James Earl Jones' voice is going to be in that top 5. Even if it's at number 5, it's in that
He should
top
put a
5.
Mufasa and like appear in the clouds.
I know. Please don't turn to the dark side.
It's not fun.
Yeah, I want James Earl Jones just to do a voiceover, even if it's for episode 8, it's just one clip.
Can I quickly clarify something? Does it matter if it's from the fiction or from the actors and stuff like that?
No.
Okay, cool, because there's something within the universe I would like to come back.
I would like it in the film, but you can also talk about something
Well,
you'd like to bring
as a
back.
passing mention.
Yeah. Okay, Josh, you had quite a good theory about something you'd like to bring back.
Yeah, Jar Jar Binks. no,
Lord Snoke is Jar Jar Binks, ladies and
No,
gentlemen.
for those
It's me!
For those of you who don't know, me, Harry, had a theory about Jar Jar Binks.
It's not yours, it's
Before I
been
saw the
around
film,
forever.
it was Kylo Ren is Jar Jar Binks.
He is. No one knows it, man.
but
Mate,
That would explain the nose.
other than that mask, it's like, it goes like Kylo Ren.
Mask, actor, Jar Jar Binks.
It goes Kylo Ren, actor, and then it goes to Jar Jar Binks, and then it's like Yoda. And then Yoda is actually R2D2.
You're making it sound like it's a Kinder egg. Just
Okay.
answer that.
No, what are those things?
Alright,
The
so-
Russian dolls.
Yeah. Right, so yeah, my thing is Mara Jade Skywalker, who in the extended universe before it was retconned, she, during episode 6, if you watch Return of the Jedi, she's one of the dancers in Jabba's palace, the one with the red ponytail.
Yeah.
And the idea is she was actually undercover and she was going to be doing a mission before Luke fucked it all up. And she was the Emperor's hand. She went around, she's been partially trained in the Force, and she goes on like assassination missions and stuff. The Empire is obviously destroyed and defeated, and she joins the crime organization that takes over from Jabba. They end up capturing Luke at one point, and she hates him because of what he did. But slowly they fall in love, And eventually she marries him and she becomes Mara Jade Skywalker. She has a purple lightsaber, which is fucking rad.
Yeah.
And they have Ben Skywalker, which is why I was annoyed when I watched the film and it was Ben Solo, not Anakin Solo, because I like the extended universe. But yeah, if they brought Mara Jade back, or even in a flashback, because the Goggles, whatever the fuck her name is, she told Rey that one is gone, but she can still find one. And I assume that was her parents, one being Luke, one being Mara.
Okay. Right, Adam, what would you like to bring back?
Wait, let him take
Consult the notes.
I think for me it would be. I mean, it's already been announced. Billy D. Williams coming back for episode 8. Lando Calrissian.
Oh, sorry.
I just got to look from just like who. It's like no. I mean, I know he's coming back. I would like to see him.
He best have a good role. Like,
like a really good role. I really hope
like
they
he's
do.
been hunting Solo all this time and finds out he's dead. He's like, fuck. Just turns around and leaves.
Well, I just have. Well, I hope
Turns
it's
to the
kind
dark
of.
side.
Well, I hope it's kind of the opposite, where he's just like he's actually really upset about the whole thing, and you know, as you said, I hope he does have quite a big part in episode 8.
Do you want him to be wielding lightsabers? Because he did that at one point.
All of them did
Did
that.
he?
Yeah. He wielded one red and one blue lightsaber at the same time.
Again, extended universe.
Yeah, extended universe.
That sounds amazing. Imagine going up, Ben, you son of a bitch, and it turns into a black exploitation movie. Swing, one man from space.
You get the black bars come down over his eyes.
Yeah.
And just the helmet.
It's like Lando Calrissian, part 2, 30 years later.
Right. We'll
So,
now go on to Sam, because since you've got 2 things you'd like to bring back, we'll go on to Sam.
Pod racing, right?
Now this is pod racing.
No, we already know Sam wants Jar Jar Binks back, but we want to talk about
I
that.
wasn't a fan of Jar Jar.
He wants Han Solo back.
He's he's not dead.
I swear to God, if you say Ewoks, you get out of my house.
No, the Ewoks are still alive. They'll be the
It's
next few. I sort of want Mace Windu back.
That's a
Like,
bit difficult.
Yeah.
I know he's dead, but like,
What, his Force ghost?
yeah, like, I don't know, in a sort of more.
But when you say that, do you
Strange
just want like a generic black Jedi, or do you want it to specifically be Mace Windu?
I specifically want to be Mace Windu because you don't really learn a lot about him.
You
Why
do
is
if
he
you
so-
read the extended universe.
Yeah, but I know I haven't got time. I've got a girlfriend.
Oh.
Ouch.
That burn.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so is he!
I feel like Anakin.
Mustafa, be kind.
Right,
So
so
I like Mace Windu back. Obviously, I like the Ewoks to be very powerful. I sort of like Darth Maul to come back.
With more robotic parts.
but this time a complete cyborg.
Yeah, with
Yeah.
robotic legs.
Savage Press.
It's just 'cause I thought Darth Maul, like obviously in the actual films, you don't learn much about his past.
You don't learn anything.
No, exactly. You don't even
Because
know.
again, George
Because
Lucas.
there was going to be a game, but then there wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
And then
I just love that.
all he got was his own book. That's all he got.
yeah.
He had more, I think, they did explain, I think, the character more in the animated series, I
He
believe.
did. But
Yeah, he
most
came
of-
back with robot legs.
But most of his exposition is done through his book.
Mm.
Where they talk to him about
Interesting.
where he was picked up,
Mm.
how he was trained.
he was picked up. Was he a streetwalker?
Yeah? Did you not know
He
that?
just leant in with his mask and horns, and just like, you know what? You'll do.
how he how he made his lightsaber. He made it through a
Oh, I love
forge.
that fucking, what was it called, Nameless? The comic? Yeah. Love it.
They
Fucking
proper
gets-
sorted him out.
Gets
Yeah.
fucked up by a Jedi with a stick.
Okay, so that being the case, all of us have said what we want back.
Alan wants
You've
to
got
bring back
yeah.
Neville from the Jedi Council in episode 1.
Okay, this is a bit complicated because it involves extended universe stuff. In the extended universe, they set up the Jedi as being not so much the Jedi, but their predecessors, the Jedi, as groups of force-sensitive people who were brought to a planet in the core sector, Tython. In the film, they say that Luke went to the first Jedi temple. Obviously, because they haven't said what's canon, what's still canon, what isn't.
Mm.
My brain said, "Oh, he went to the first Jedi temple. He's going to be in the core sector." But when you see the map,
He's an
He's in
Oiland.
the outer rim. He's an island.
he's somewhere else.
Mm.
So, like, the one thing I definitely want them to kind of fill in, if not bring back, is all the old Jedi stuff that was
Mm.
brought in through the extended universe, because the Jedi had temples everywhere, and if they're not going to have any mention of Tython specifically, we need like somewhere in the core section that has a strong Jedi presence. In addition to that, if they're going to be the Sith, I want them to kind of give us a bit of what ones have been hiding and where they are. Because with Sidious, we knew where he was hiding. He was hiding in plain sight. He
killed Plagueis.
He killed his master in his sleep, and he had lots of different people all over the place because he had the Inquisitors, he had Darth Maul, he had Count Dooku.
I mean, actually, the scene with Sidious when he's explaining about Plagueis is actually one of my favourites.
Yeah.
Because
it's a brilliant scene.
Yeah.
But it's like suddenly there.
Suddenly there. And I know people saying, "Oh, Snoke is Plagueis," and it was like everyone's come out and said, "No, he's not." Then there's like, "Oh, actually, he's Darth Vader's Force Ghost because he has some of the same scars." Like, no, he's not. He turned to the light side.
Okay, so we spoke about what we did like about the film. We've had a good moan about Kylo Ren because, well, it was needed.
I disagree, but okay.
We spoke about what we'd like to bring back. Let's talk about the two main characters in the film. We've got Finn.
And Rey.
Yeah. Do we think Rey is Luke's daughter?
Yes.
Why?
Well, firstly, when she's drawn to Luke's lightsaber, then when she touches it, she gets the flashback. Then, as well, when she's fighting with Kylo, the Skywalker theme is played in the track, which I felt was quite strong evidence, because John Williams doesn't fuck around with his compositions.
Your first point, if we look at Star Wars Rebels, Ezra is drawn to the holocron and Kanan's lightsaber.
True.
Only reason I'd like to back up Josh's point is we spoke about this earlier. There's in that flashback, you hear her crying as a child, and then all of a sudden you see this shot of the Millennium Falcon flying away. The only two theories could be
that wasn't a Millennium Falcon.
It was.
What, in the flashback?
Yeah, it was.
Because I didn't think it was either.
No, it's not a Millennium Falcon.
It is. It's been proven. It's the Falcon.
Well, it's a very weird looking Falcon, that's for sure.
Well, anyway.
But what was the Falcon? Again.
Well, Adam, can you consult your notes and check for me?
Why is the Falcon on Jakku in the first place? But that's a question for another time.
Yeah,
they already announced what that was.
They said it in the film. It was just like it was stolen from Han and then stolen from something and stolen from something, and it just ended up there as trash.
Yeah.
Again, cycle. The theme of the new trilogies. Cycle.
Yeah.
Everything has one.
No, it could either be that somehow she is related to Kylo, which
making them cousins.
Yeah, cousins.
It'll either be that they're brother and sister, but then again, if they were, then why wouldn't
then Han would have been
and
like, "Hey, daughter, get back on Jakku."
yeah.
Yeah, but I think,
especially if you think it's the Falcon, like, he would have
the
just
reason
turned
that
around.
I also think that she is the daughter of Luke is notice that instant bond between Han and her. I've got a feeling Luke has said, if you ever come across her again, keep her close, keep her safe. Which could come forward in the next film. And it's sort of like...
I mean, it'd be nice if the opening shot of the next film just leads on from the lightsaber bit and Luke just hugs her. He just walks past the lightsaber and just gives her a hug.
He goes, daughter.
Or he says...
Daughter, was there a hand with that?
But no, so...
There's no alternative to that. He goes, you took your bloody time. There's beards growing out a bit.
No, we do what they do with the meme, which is... Yeah, there was a hand with that lightsaber.
But then Ray goes, but I thought you were a myth. How the hell am I a myth after 30 fucking years?
Yeah, that annoyed me.
Or if they do announce that she is the daughter, then it could be... Well, you took your time. I thought you were a myth. No, I'm not a myth. I am your father. And, But no, so... Does anyone else here think that she is the daughter of Luke?
I think she's the daughter of another Jedi. There was just like no one's really mentioned that there's been obviously someone
dare say Yoda.
Not Mace Windu. Yeah. I don't know if you know about genetics, but she's definitely not Mace Windu's daughter.
Oh, it's been a few generations, of course.
But I'm just saying.
1.5.
I'm just saying,
like,
there could be someone that was sort of 60 that got killed,
got
killed off or something like that, or got banned. You never know.
They may link it into Rebels.
It could be anything.
That would be cool.
interesting.
Ooh, that would be cool.
Right,
Anyhow,
Harry, you're behind the camera. Do you think that she's Luke's daughter?
Yeah, I do actually.
so I'm the only one that doesn't.
Wait,
Can I
Adam,
have
I
a
think it's still the Jedi's.
Children, enough. George being the teacher.
excuse you, you cut each of us off.
Hold on.
I didn't mean to. I'm sorry.
He's laughing on your notes.
No, all I was going to say is, I mean, there have been a few theories that there's a voice that we hear when Rey's,
There's
you know,
many voices.
yeah, well,
Yeah.
one of the main voices is Rey. These are the first steps. Now, the person who recorded those lines was Ewan McGregor. Now, the rumours are that Rey is Obi-Wan's granddaughter. That's
That
one
would
of the.
be
That
Fucking amazing.
would be really cool.
I want that.
But then.
No, I don't want it to be Kanan's.
But then you'd have to find out who is Obi-Wan's son slash daughter.
Yeah,
to
the kids
have-
are, and if that's the other theory is, I think you've already mentioned about Han and Leia's daughter because of the buns. Padme has one, Leia has two, she's got three in her hair. Coincidence?
I mean, not only that, in the extended universe, I mean, I know it's not canon, but they had the twins, which was Anakin Solo,
Yeah.
a woman, and then they had another child later on.
Yeah.
So it could be possible if they wanted to keep with that
'cause-
string of thought.
Yeah, because I know in the extended universe that one of, as you said, one of the Solo kids does go to the dark side, and obviously Ben is referencing to that.
Yeah.
But
How do we know she's not the daughter of a Sith? Or
That-
someone like that?
That'd be
Why
interesting.
why would she be put so far away from the rest of the
Sidious
Jedi?
as
Not
well.
just to protect herself,
No, that
but
would
also to
be
keep her away from
Yeah,
the
because
Force.
Jakku is an outer implant.
Yeah, that would be interesting, but my only theory against that is that I think
Well,
me
she
and
was
you
getting
spoke about
training
this
from
earlier, where they said in an old film about only someone with the Force can use a saber. I've got a feeling that she is related to either Luke or someone that is with the Force in the light side. Because if she touched Luke's lightsaber, I think, not genetically, but there would have been something that would have stopped her from
Have we
using the
have we explored the
lightsaber.
possibility of Qui-Gon Jinn?
Can I?
I think I'd
Yeah,
jump.
good.
Can I say my theory, please?
No.
Yeah,
Well,
that.
now that we've all said
Every
we
other Jedi
think
we can
that
possibly
it
say.
could be,
It's awkward.
Bruce Wayne.
Because
Hello, daughter.
again, in the extended universe, there were other groups of Force-sensitive people.
yeah.
One of those groups were the Imperial Knights.
Mm.
They weren't affiliated with the Jedi, but they were Force-sensitive and they were trained in lightsaber combat. It could be any of them. It could be any of their kids. During, after the Jedi Purge, there were many Force-sensitive children found, killed, and captured by the Inquisitors on order of the Emperor. Some of these kids,
Which is actually canon because of Star Wars Rebels.
and some of these Force-sensitive kids pop up all the time. It's not always due to the metachlorians.
Yeah.
Metal what?
Metal chlorine.
I'm sorry.
That sounds so much more awesomer.
Metachlorians. It's not always due to that. Force-sensitive kids sometimes spontaneously pop up, and Rey could be one of those kids. And their parents, sometimes the parents of a Force-sensitive kid, they know.
Yeah.
They don't have to be Force-sensitive themselves. They just know. So Rey could have been hidden on Jakku, either to keep her out of the hands of the Sith or the Empire, in this case, the Jedi, or anyone who would do harm to her or exploit her abilities.
Well,
Okay, yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Which does, because you know Luke was trying to train a new generation. It didn't
And
go to plan, and he
all
did it for
this.
and he did put her on that plan for protection. And I think also what's important is looking in the continuities of the films. Unfortunately, not the extended universe. My mind's gone totally blank on what the point I was trying to make. Oh yeah, that's it. The point was about family.
Oh yeah, so
She told the theme of
cycles
family.
as well, like, and Luke was Anakin's son, so you
And
could have.
Thing
Rey-
is,
and-
on
and
this
Ben-
subject,
Han Solo's and Leia's son. Rey is part of that family. I think that's why I think it's potentially she could be Luke's daughter. Potentially.
well, I feel like there's one thing that's going to give us what's the actual connection.
Episode 8.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, episode 8, but I've got a feeling I know how we're going to find out. Do you know in episode 7 where Han says, "Who's the girl?" It cuts away and you never find what's said. I've got a feeling that...
Who did he say that to?
Well, he did.
he says it to Finn. He goes,
Yeah.
"Who's the girl?" And then it cuts away as Finn ends up running off and saying about... What is it?
I'm from Greenwich.
No,
From
Finn
Peckham.
starts asking, "Oh, I need a pilot."
One of the things that have been floating around my head since we've talked about Mads multiple times, and it's kind of been suggested by what she says that she's force sensitive,
Yeah.
considering she's lived a long time. The other thing to
Why
that
has she been for
Do you
these
think
1,000
she's
years?
gonna be like the next Yoda, or like Yoda's character?
essentially
Yeah.
she is. Because of that, I think she knows who is, because she seemed to know what was going on before it happened.
Yeah.
Because obviously we know sometimes force sensitive people get visions of the future, and she seemed to know that they were going to be attacked. That's why she let Rey go into the basement and find the lightsaber and knew she was there in the first place.
Yeah.
She knew everything that was going on.
But then she delivers a line in the film which I think we could all agree really annoyed us because it's really poor writing.
It's not necessarily poor writing, it's just the attempt at foreshadowing.
It didn't go how they were hoping.
It didn't
for
come
it
off
to.
that way.
Yeah. Okay, right. We spoke about Rey. Let's talk about Finn. What did we think of him as a character?
Really liked him.
I thought he was quite a good character. The fact of he's come from nowhere, and he even says, "All I know is I was stolen from my family when I was young, a family that I never got to know, and all I've known is what."
Lando.
Yeah. We called it Lando is his father.
Yeah.
Done.
Threw him out of the film.
I disagree with that one.
Really?
Mace Windu. He's
It
he's
makes
force
sense
sensitive.
though.
I mean, looking
We
forward.
don't know that.
I'm
He
looking.
definitely is.
We don't know that.
Definitely is.
Well,
He's the only black guy in
it
the
could
film.
be.
They can't be not racist and make him the sort of fool of it, can they?
Yeah.
They're
Get
going to
rid
make
of-
him powerful.
Get away from all of the pomance as well.
Yeah.
And
But
back to
Oh,
Finn.
oh.
Yeah, I think.
But
But I do agree with Sam's theory. I think that Finn could
So
be.
do what? So do what? I totally agree with you.
I hope he isn't.
Plus, do you know what?
Why?
I hope he's just an original character who has his own art.
Oh yeah,
I
but if
agree
he
with
is,
Josh on that
do you
one.
know why I think it could be?
Because otherwise,
He
the
was
whole
stolen from his family and never got to know them.
Just like a force baby.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and if his father's been killed, less things to stop him from being taken from his family. So
Yeah.
that could.
Attachment.
But I mean, what I don't like about it is just all of these feels are and he's connected to him and she's connected to him. It's just like,
Oh no, no.
it's the
Yeah.
whole story of Star Wars just about these 5 people and their kids. It's not the
But no,
Bible.
so let's stay
I
on.
agree.
Did we like Finn as a character though?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was funny sometimes.
Sam?
Yeah, I liked him. His potential to be the first gay Star Wars character.
No. C-3PO and R2-D2.
Yeah.
Human
What I can say
character.
is the first hour and a half, he has a lot of screen time, and the way his approach to everything is very human.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Initially, his
he's
reaction,
one of us.
He's probably
we're
the
meant
most
to react
human
to
Star
him
Wars
as
Yeah.
an
character to have
audience.
existed, like.
Him and Poe.
his natural reaction and inclination to everything is to survive.
Yeah.
Adam said a lot about him suffering from an identity crisis. Yes, that's his evident. He doesn't know who he is. He gets given the name Finn by Poe, his bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
With the luxury.
Poe the bro.
his bro. But everything he thinks of everything as, I have to do this, this, and this to survive. And if I can get through this, I'll be closer to my goal.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of wanted more to come out of that bit at the beginning of the film where the dead stormtrooper reaches up and like puts the blood mark on his thing. I wanted him to become like his logo or something.
Do we agree with what I've said, which is there has to be some deeper meaning behind that one stormtrooper because he
Oh, there
saw
has to
others
And,
be
and the music
killed.
changes as well.
Yeah.
And like there was so much emphasis on like the free finger marks. and
Yeah.
really-
I've got a feeling that that's a female character, some sort of.
Maybe because I mean stormtroopers aren't clones, so
Yeah.
they're listed.
Well, I
So
mean, they
it's
clearly,
possible.
well, those are General Hux's, stormtroopers, and they clearly say that they're, that
They're
they've been
stolen,
trained,
trained
stolen,
from
trained
birth,
from
yeah,
kids. They're not clones.
But
Well, I think we all agree
anything
with
else to say on Finn?
Not particularly. I think everything's been said.
He's bad.
Yeah.
I think one thing I'll quickly say, you can tell John Boyega is having a blast with the role.
Oh.
Yeah.
And
Did you see all the stuff of him saying that Harrison Ford is his best friend?
And he took him to like Old Kent Road as well for like Nigerian
Well, what I find
food.
funny is, so far, he's gone to, I think it's 25 different cinemas and watched
The film.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then just stood up right at the end each time, and it's just like...
Why didn't he come to my scene?
Or he's gone, how did you enjoy the film? And I go, yay! I would have loved if somebody went, you sucked!
But no, I think there's a lot of character development potential with this character. I just want to know what happens now, because it would have been good for him to say one more line before Ray disappeared.
Yeah, and becoming disabled.
He got knocked the fuck out!
Thank you, Tommy.
He's definitely going to die.
I hope so.
He's definitely going to die.
It would be a good arc for him, to be honest.
If he does that, I'll be upset.
He's definitely
Yes,
going to die.
I would as well, but I think it would be a good arc if you build his character.
Wait,
and have him die
is he
right
going
in
to
front
die
of
for the
Ray,
reason
like,
I
she can't
think
do
that
anything
you're
about it.
saying?
What? He's just going to die.
He's
There's
just
no
gonna,
reason.
He's just going to drop
gonna
dead,
die.
have a stroke.
Like,
Stroke!
someone's going to kill him. He's just going to
But
die.
no. Well, okay, so we all like
that,
him.
Yeah, we all like
it's
him.
motivation for Ray to turn to the dark side.
True.
Yeah. Alright, so we all like him.
You really want to go that sort of way? Like,
Right,
make
so
it more
now
dark side.
it's time for the bit we all wanted to get onto. The bit we didn't like. What did we
That
not
was what I
like
wanted
about the film?
I have a list.
That was so
I have a
smooth.
list.
I know, right?
Please don't go through the whole
No, we're not going through the list.
No,
right.
I've only highlighted
Like we did
certain
with what we
parts.
like, we pick one
thing we hated
that
the
we
most.
did not like. The one thing we didn't like the most.
Okay, that's
Come to
fine.
me last, please.
Okay. Starkiller Base. I'll just throw it out there right now.
Yeah.
It's fucking instant.
So you like that it got blown up?
Oh,
You just didn't
no, I
like
just
it.
didn't like
Oh, and also the name, Starkiller. Get it? Because it's
Because
from...
there was a character in the game once.
Exactly.
No, and it was
And
Luke
yeah.
Skywalker's
Luke
original
Skywalker's
name.
original name was Luke Starkiller.
You do also
Yes.
realise why it was called Starkiller.
Because it kills stars.
Yeah. It draws the power
It is
from the sun,
most
which is a
useless
star.
weapon ever. It can be fired twice because there's only 2 suns in that star system, and it can't move. The Death Star could fucking move.
Yeah.
It's if they didn't blow it up, it would be done anyway.
What I didn't like about it was, like they said in the film, a rip-off of.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of liked it when they threw in the homage to the trench run with Poe flying down
Yeah.
and going into the
Yeah.
But otherwise, you didn't even get to see much of the planet. They may have well made a smaller weapon that could move and be feasibly an issue for the New Republic.
There was one scene I didn't like when suddenly Ray could have easily killed Kylo, but then suddenly just splits right between them. Like I know the planet's blowing up,
the
but why
planet
did,
went,
yeah.
But
Well,
still,
why did
Yeah,
that is
because it's
quite
symbolic of them being on two different sides.
I don't care about symbolism.
I quite liked it.
Yeah.
It was
It
too
was like
sort of
something you
like
see in Dragon Ball Z.
cheesy.
it was too coincidental and cliche that suddenly she's just about to kill him, but suddenly we can make 2 more films out of this. Like there's a crack in the earth. No,
His really my favourite one was when Kylo's mask came off and it wasn't Jar Jar Binks.
Okay. Adam, one thing.
Right, I'm gonna say one little nitty picky
No,
bit.
one thing.
What? Just okay.
One thing.
Fine. One thing. Right. The old guy that gives the map to Poe is played by Max von Sydow, who, as we all know, is a great actor, has been in loads of movies, nominated for 2 Oscars. He's only in the movie for 5 minutes and he gets killed off. Why get an actor of that caliber for such a small role?
Because all the money was going to Mark Hamill for his speechless scene at the end.
Well, that's the thing. You've also got to take into consideration. We had Simon Pegg and Daniel Craig as stormtroopers.
You do realise how
No,
ironic
Pegg
it is that
wasn't
Simon
wasn't a
Pegg is in
stormtrooper.
Star
He was an
Wars.
alien.
He was
yeah.
the one that was going to take Finn away in the canteen.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I just think that there must have been more to that character. Maybe in comic books, I don't know. Maybe I really don't know. And I'll say this: just one other bit which I didn't like was the Ratars in the cargo ship which Han and Chewie had. The CGI
What, the
for
tentacle
the
thing?
yeah,
Oh,
the
the
CGI
CGI
was so bad.
It wasn't bad, it was just out of place.
Yeah,
The
it
only
really
reason
did,
that
which is so
happened, like I
frustrating.
said, it's based on the creature that was in.
It's not based on the Sarlacc pit, is it?
No, it
No,
can't
but
be.
it was meant to be
Portal
sort of.
Sarlacc pit.
No, it was just meant to be
Portal
sort of like a
walking
tribute
vaginas.
because of the whole door comes down
now
and
for-
chops the arm off.
Freeze.
Okay, for me, it had to be, I forget the name of the character. Who's the guy that Kylo Ren really doesn't get along with? But they
General Hux.
Yeah, I understand you're not meant to like Hux.
I like
but I just.
But he's got.
He's like
Yeah,
a young.
but
Moff
I
Tarkin.
didn't
quite
like-
Yeah, they and the thing is they're both
Let
on
him
equal
talk.
levels. I'm sorry.
Shut up!
But I didn't like him as a character only
Was it-
because I feel like all these other characters, they're starting off for a build-up. I feel like they gave him too much.
So it wasn't the actor, the choice of actor.
No, it's more the fact.
Because that bothered me at first, and then the second time.
No,
watching
I
it,
get
it
that
kinda grew on
completely.
me.
But for me, it's the whole. He seems like he got too much of a build-up for a character.
To one note.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, he's one.
I feel like next film, if they lower it too much, then they're going to be like, no, complete imbalance. So they have to do it perfectly on point next film. Okay, Len.
Feels like a cop out now.
What you got?
Phasma.
Oh, I agree completely.
Oh yeah, I
It
do.
feels like a complete cop out.
I'm sorry, as
Everyone finds that an issue.
I'm sorry, as I said, female Darth Vader.
No,
That's what I thought it was at first. I was like, oh damn,
No, she was
Darth
meant
Vader's
to
a
be
woman.
Oh, Phasma.
she was meant to be like the next Boba Fett,
Boba
and
Fett,
then
and-
TR-8R came along and was like, his one word was enough to win over the entire
and
internet.
again, Phasma is played by the great Gwendolyn
Yeah, she's
Christie
an
from
amazing
Game of Thrones,
actor, yeah.
who is brilliant in Game of
I mean,
Thrones.
actress,
yeah,
sorry.
actually,
Right.
she's one of my favourite actresses.
Anyway.
But yeah, wasted.
Yeah, she's completely wasted.
Mm.
The idea that they were going for was missed, and like to a great degree, that scene with
with
TR.
Finn.
with TR that could have been completely replaced with her. That would have
Yeah.
been so much better.
I mean, the one
And
scene they did give her with Finn, she just becomes a little bitch and turns off
Yeah.
Mm.
the
But
shield.
that adds character development for the next few of them.
What?
But-
She's so upset. That
If she hasn't been crushed.
Yeah,
in
but
the
she might
garbage
be a silver
compactor.
silver square by now.
if she didn't escape the planet,
I thought you were gonna say
she's
Silver
already dead. If she did, with what's left of the First Order, she would be disgraced.
Yeah.
Hux wouldn't want her back.
Yeah.
Snoke wouldn't want her back, and Snoke would kill her.
Yeah,
Mm.
or
Is
his
she a
giant
double agent?
lightsaber.
He bothers me as well, but that's
for another
okay.
guy.
That's for another.
Or is she a
So-
double agent? You don't know.
Well,
And if
Okay.
She
Finn's
could
also
be
a double
Rey's
agent.
mother.
well, no, Finn's a double agent.
Okay, so now that we're on the conclusion, each of us quickly, rating out of 10. Sam.
Let's start with someone else.
Alright, 8.
Okay.
7.
See it. I don't do ratings. Oh,
No, you have to do a rating. That's
Fine,
what
Fine,
I'm
numerical ratings are ridiculous.
Yeah.
Fine. 9 out of 10.
See it.
Okay.
Just see it.
I'm going for a 8.5. Yeah.
I'm going with Josh. I'm going with an 8. Like,
Like,
I feel like there was enough for it. There was just stuff that could have been
Yeah.
improved.
yeah.
But the best thing about it is that whatever comes out afterwards is going to be
It's gonna be better.
So much
much
better.
better.
Absolutely.
Like A New Hope, and then they followed it with Empire, and Empire was amazing.
Amazing.
It's,
Yeah.
That's what I'm hoping for, like another situation like that, where they've done the cliche, but now they're right. Now we're gonna jump in.
Yeah.
Now you trust us with the reins to Star Wars.
They have.
Other than that, okay, so our rating overall, I'd say,
Well,
would you all
we gave
agree,
individuals.
right in the middle, about an 8, between what we've all given,
yeah.
a solid 8
Solid 8.
out of 10.
Ewoks just portable Wookiees anyway, aren't they?
Well, I mean,
I hate
and
Ewoks.
Endor was meant to be Kashyyyk initially. It was meant to be
Yeah.
the home of the Wookiees, and they were like, oh, but we could sell more toys if we made them cute. So that's why the Ewoks.
And make it for kids.
Fuck the Ewoks.
Yes.
Okay guys, so that's it. Thank you all for coming on. If each of you would quickly like to introduce yourself so that people can find you if they want. Sam, start with you since you don't have much social media.
Well, I'm Sam. I did the short sentences.
And Sam's actually part of Seymour Films, so he's one of us. So if you want to get a hold of him, just message us on the Seymour Films Facebook page.
Or just message me.
Right,
Right.
Josh.
Yeah, so I'm Josh, and in a couple of weeks, me and Tommy are starting the Untrained Gaming channel. We're just going to play through old games and shit. It's going to be a laugh. So keep an eye out for that. Tommy will probably keep you posted on this channel. And Lan.
Well, I'm Lan. I don't really have much, but I'm the leader of Fields of Thought Writers Guild, So if you want to find us, you can find us on Facebook. Adam.
Technically, it's an outro. I'm Adam. As I said, I am one of the presenters of Game in Time. You can find all the episodes on Mixcloud. The logo, the logo is plug-in. The logo is of the Mario's Red Mushroom, and I'm looking to do a YouTube channel with my mate Dan, and also with Tommy as well. The one with Tommy is going to be called Dart the Elite Four, and hopefully we'll be doing Pokemon content on there.
And finally, you have me, your host for Cinema Films on this episode, and one of your two hosts normally. While Harry, come on, show your face on the screen.
Come on, introduce yourself, bro.
Introduce yourself. Yeah. So
Sounds like dead on the floor.
you know all of mine and Harry's social media by now. But
And the
if
Brown
not-
Man.
Oh, and
James
Jason.
the Brown Man.
Yeah.
All of our social media will be down below. We hope you've enjoyed this episode, and make sure to subscribe, share for more. Yes, so thanks guys.
Right.
And this is Tommy signing out. Cheers guys.
Bye.